It is summer solstice, my friends, and I finally figured out a way to film the lightning bugs. So, I have a S21 Ultra phone, and on the normal setting, it was picking up or taking in too much light. So look right here, I'll show you. See how it just everything brightens? And then back here, though, that's what it really looks like outside right now. This is like the true, and this is like backed up, the widest angle I can do on my phone. Turns out this is the angle I should have been filming from to get the lightning bugs. Did not know that till just now. So all the footage I've ever tried to show you guys of lightning bugs was just like not true to how it actually looked in real time, which was always so frustrating to me. But yeah, it's pretty dark out here, so I've been out here just watching the light fade because I wanted to just really soak in the evening, you know. So much of our lives are like spent trying to do 5 different things at once that we are never like truly grounded in the moment. And so we forget. That's why, like, when people try to remember things, they're like, oh, I don't really remember this or this or this. It's because they weren't grounded in the moment enough to even form a memory. You know what I mean? And so I really, like, once I figured that out for myself, you know, there's a lot of things people could tell you, but like, if you don't come, a lot for me at least, if I don't come to the conclusions, you know, through practice or whatever, it's like I don't really believe what people say. Of course, I always like advice people give me. I'll like take it, put it in my mind, you know, leave it there. But so yeah, ever since I figured that out for myself, I like really strive to like sink myself into the moment truly. And this is one of the times that, like, oh, I love sinking into the moments. Oh, when they're like this. Let's see if I can show you guys the garden, though. Look at the summer solstice garden, just so full. I'm getting ready to put in a water feature, you guys. It's going to be a pretty big one, too. There's going to be a pool, a waterway, or a waterfall, a spillover, like it's going to be a waterfall into a really pretty deep little pond that I bought. I had to buy all the pieces separately, and I have been buying them for months now. You know, because it was going to be like, at least, it was going to be like it was going to be a few $100s for all the pieces, you know, to make it look nice, but just to get the bare minimum pieces, it was going to be a couple $100s. So I was like, buying the pieces over a few months' time now, and got all the pieces. Now I just have to, I think I've figured it out that I've narrowed it down to this area right here, because while I'm not building any of this as an intended purpose for wildlife, that does not mean wildlife is not going to visit this, you know, water feature. So I want to keep in mind, so I've got a lot of really tall plants in my garden that have taken me years to cultivate into this, okay? And so putting in a water feature in the dead center of my garden, you know, is going to attract wildlife to the water feature, and it's going to, if I put it in a dead center, the animals will knock over my plants to get some water, because I am halfway up the mountain. There is a creek at the base of the valley, and animals, like several different species of animals, travel through my garden. And so I just want to keep that in mind. A lot of times we will do stuff to our gardens, or we'll add to our gardens, and we'll try to keep the wildlife away. It's like but that's a invasive species way of thinking. Okay, so you want to be more do things in with the thought of, how is this going to impact the environment? What is going to happen, when I put a water feature in my garden? Obviously, animals are going to come to that water feature. A lot of times when we put water features in our yards, that's like the only water source for miles sometimes for a wild animal. So rather than trying to keep the animals out, make it accessible enough that they don't ruin all your hard work. And another thing I'll tell you guys on the whole wild animal thing, you guys know that I've been having problems with deer eating my things throughout the year, and it was getting so frustrating for me. It was like every time I came out here, like a new thing was chomped up. Let me show you my tomatoes, okay? I have a bunch of tomato plants out here, and they are big, okay? And they are full of tomatoes. Look at this, okay? Big tomato plants out here. Several of them all over here. Okay, ever since I started leaving this area right here full of pokeweed, and I started, leaving things wild up here, and I started doing little things like that, just mainly the difference has come in just with the pokeweed, just leaving that pokeweed up. I figured out that the deer, because they come from down the mountain, I have found that they would rather eat the pokeweed than anything I have in my garden. Like, that's what they want to eat. They eat the leaves from the pokeweed. And I leave all the little seedlings up, because every time I do, I come out here and they're chomped up. Like, animals do not have a vendetta against our gardens. A lot of times it's just like you're cutting down all of their natural food source. Just to have like a green lawn or whatever. You're cutting down all of the food source for the animals. And you're making it for them that they have no choice but to eat your garden, because that's the only thing available for them to eat. Do you understand? Do you see where I'm coming from? So with this new way of thinking that I've been doing, is I've been acting in a symbiotic relationship with the environment. Once I started figuring out these little tiny things that I was doing, like the lightning bugs with the long grass, like, and the deer with the pokeweed, and, some other things, it's like making me realize things that I don't have to be in constant battle with my environment. I can just make small choices that don't put me at the center of everything. Like our grandmas or our mothers used to say, the world don't revolve around you. And what that meant, that's not meaning as a dig on you. It's not meaning you're not special. It means everybody is just trying to do the same thing you are, animals included. Be happy, healthy, and have something to eat and somewhere safe to sleep. And if you cut down all their food and take away all of their places that they feel safe in their own environment, then they're going to invade your space. And you deserve it, honestly. Anyways, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this summer solstice with me. I hope you're having a great solstice evening. And I will see you again tomorrow or sometime soon.